That means it has to be the religious center, the social center, and the educational center. And you look at the programs that have happened in the last 4 years, SAT classes, math classes, English classes, chemistry classes, computer coding for little kids, so when they start out at 4 or 5 years old, they can learn computer coding. No other Gurdwara has those classes. And the only reason those classes exist is because we've brought forth people forward who care about the education of the future. Right? Because they realize that if we increase the education, all this fighting, all this bickering, all this ego butting heads, that's gonna end. Because education is the only way past that, right? So I can sit here and tell you why my dad is awesome, right? But that's not gonna be as convincing. I think what's more convincing is the dedication of the 5 people running, right? You look at Arvinder Kaur, she's there every Sunday. And since she started helping in Khalsa school, the enrollment went up from 250 to 600. Results speak for themselves. You don't go from 250 to 600 if you're doing a bad job. It doesn't happen, right? You look at just Dev Singh, he was considering not running this time because he said, I don't have enough time to spend with my kids, because that's how much time he dedicates to the Gurdwara. And you look at some of the people on the other side, I don't even see them at Gurdwara. The first time I see their name is when they're running, right? Like, I'm being honest, right? And then you look at my dad's been there every week on Sunday trying to raise money for the building, and he's trying to do it in a way so we don't have a loan, right? So they used to, other side saying, oh, they don't want to get a loan. Yeah, who wants to get a loan? We work all our life in this country to do one thing, to pay off the mortgage, right? And now that we're trying to make sure that the Gurdwara doesn't have a loan, they're all feeling scared for some reason. I have no idea why, right? You have Gurinder Singh, who's there every Sunday at the Gurdwara. He's there every day, every Sunday without fail, right? You look at Parminder Singh, he's been involved in so many issues, whether it's the Sarbat Khalsa that happened, or whether it's making presentations about Sikhi, and he cares about Sikhi from the inside. You think about all these fresh faces, would they really get a chance if they were politicians? They wouldn't, right? So we have a chance to say, we can either go back home and say, hey, oh, it's the same old politicians running the show, it's the same old people, or we can go home and say, let's tell them once and for all that this old system of you just bringing in your political people isn't gonna work, that the Sangat has a voice, and that the Sangat cares about the future, and that the Sangat wants to make education a priority. So all I have to say is, if you really feel the same way I do, which is new people should come forward, that education should matter, and that we should really break away from the past, then let's go ahead and get people to vote. Let's show out in force, so we can end the old system and put in a new system that brings in new faces, new energy, and focuses on the future. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.